So cool. So well, today's last class. My intention for today is, well, I want to teach you a couple of stuff. First of all, I want to teach you how to use bosses properly, at least a little bit about that. How to use routines, because routines are important for actually managing projects of composition. And then use a routine to make a little exercise composition. Maybe something similar like what we do in class 3 about p-bands, a little bit something. But let's do everything from zero. Let's do, I don't know, 4, 5 syndefs using, I don't know, let's use additive synthesis, subtractive synthesis, FM synthesis, and make a sampler. So we go at least through almost all the synthesis techniques that we've seen, make p-binds, combine it with p-monos, so there's like this kind of scenes, and then use that to structure that music inside our routine. So we have like a well-rounded idea how to make music from zero up to a point. Obviously, it wouldn't be that, prize-winning piece, but it will be an exercise. Somebody's entering the room. Cool.
Michelle, can I say something?
Yeah, of course. Can you tell? Go.
I have your work, Passacaglia, not found 404.
Oh, yeah. I sent you that, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow I will send you the mastering.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you. It's for free, no? You remember, no?
Yeah. Thank you about it. Yeah. That's.
I'm not going to build the company, the mastering studio, because something about I'm going to have a job in other things, but I want to make you the mastering for free. So don't worry.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad to share that.
Okay.
I'm really happy. Usually I don't take that much time mastering my stuff, but so I like it. That piece was made with this. I don't know if you know Fonka. It's like a prize here in Mexico for young composers. So I made it as part of that. So it's cool. It's cool to have a better version to show people.
Okay.
It looks good on my resume. So let's go. I really enjoy the classes that I actually made music and not just theory. So, sir, I have to change this. Also, I know a couple of you are interested in the info about level 2. So at the end, I will give you the complete info. So for the ones that are interested, I will tell a little bit about that at the end of the class. Also, I will post it on the Facebook chat. So we got everything straightforward running. So let's go here, server, reboot server. Cool. So this is class number 8. So let's go with routines first. Basically what I want to show you first. At first, when I started using Super Collider, I used Syndes and I used p-binds for a lot of years, and and MIDI controllers, and I made music with them. It was until later when I study more about real programming, when I get into loops, into conditionals, into routines, into that type of stuff. And I found that routines are awesome and are also really good for installations and the stuff that you want to have running for a long time making decisions. In this case, we're gonna use it more like a score maker more than that type of stuff, but having the basics will let you in the future. Also, I know I have one session about how to use routines in installations, that type of stuff. In general, level 2 is less like it's because level 1 is like step 1, step 2, it goes. Level 2 is more about showing you more specific topics about the whole round of using the topic. But yeah, so I'm gonna put here the webcams and stuff. So there we go. So let's go to routine. So it says that routines are functions, basically are functions that can return in the middle and then resume where they left off. A routine runs a function and allows it to be suspended in the middle and resuming again where you left off. The difference with this is when we have use routines, we just run the routines and everything is inside the routine is like, you know, like run the code at the same time. Obviously there's like superglide runs line plus line, but this is enough fast so we can perceive it as at the same time. This functionality is supported by the routine superclass thread. Effectively, routines can be used to implement coroutines as found in Scheme and some other language. So you can put a routine inside a routine. So this could be useful. A routine is started the first time, next is called, which will run the function from the beginning. It is suspended when it yields and resuming using next again. So basically, today actually we're gonna work with wait. I'm gonna show you. So basically the structure of a routine is they just ask for a function, then you go play. If I run this, it's obviously an empty routine, but it will work. And it will say, okay, that's a routine. So it's cool. So here inside the routine, I can work, for example, and say, okay, I want to say hello. I will parentheses here to, you know, make this automatic. And hello. If I give a second instruction, goodbye. I have hello and goodbye at the same time. So this pretty much works as a normal routine. Just as the one we, for example, we implemented routines at itself. We implemented routines inside GUI definitions, and we implemented routines inside mini definitions, and we implemented routines inside syntax definitions. So we have used routines almost all over the place. But these routines give you an extra step, that is the wait. So if I put this, for example, I put 10.wait. Basically what wait will do is that it will wait X amount of time, this being X. And it will wait, so it will start running, it will run this line of code, it will go like this. Then it will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 9, 10, and goodbye, you know? So we will do it automatically. So let's do it, let's go. Hello, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, and should be goodbye. Yeah, there we go, goodbye. Then we can say, okay, cool, wait, and we can go, I don't know, done, post lines. Also, this is pretty good when, for example, you are implementing a lot of stuff, like charging buffer, making recordings, and activating stuff. So you have like a really complex system. Having a lot of post line and waits could give you time, a way to debug your program. So for a reason it's failing and you know what, where is the problem? Giving waits and post lines can give you, okay, here something went wrong. So here will be the same. Hello, we have waited 10 seconds. Usually when you are waiting the seconds, looks like they are super long. Hello, goodbye, and 1, and done. In this, I can implement almost anything. So for example, here I can go 3.wait and do this. So now it will do the same. I will put like, you know, 4 here to make it less annoying. And then so hello, goodbye, wait, and it will then start this syntax that will do.
Michel.
Yeah.
I think line 11 needs exclamation mark. No, it needs After play needs something.
Here, well,
Yes.
I don't need it because it's the last instruction.
Uh-huh.
If I will add a next instruction, then I will need it.
Ah,
So for
okay.
example, I will run it like this first. Hello, 1, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and done. 1, 2, 3, and tika. There you go. For example, here I can add, okay, 10 wait. Basically, that's the time it lasts to make the crescendo and say ended. Here, I don't need it because it's the last one. I usually just put it because it's better syntaxes. Hello, 3 and 4 and kika, goodbye, 1, 2, 8, done, 1 and 2 and 3 and at the end of the crescendo, I will hear post line. There we go. So very basic stuff. But here I can organize whatever I want. So these routines are very good to organize. At least a lot of times what I do is I use my SYNDEFs to build my timbres. I use my p-vines, build my behaviors, and then I use my routine to build the actual music, to build the score, to build the structure of the architecture of the music. And it's pretty cool because I can have like a fixed architecture. So I know at second 17, I know that X p-vine will activate, but inside that p-vine, I have something algorithmic going on. So I can go beyond like fixed stuff and random stuff as much as I want. So let's go through, let's build a couple of SYNDEFs and also use that so I can show you how to use pmono. Have we seen pmono?
No.
No, pmono is new stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Sorry about asking. I get a little confused with what I have taught to one class on the other. So let's build a SYNDEF. So I'm gonna build something with additive, something with subtractive, something with FM, and some sampling. So we have different stuff going on. Let's use a little bit of FM. So let's build melody. Just like we did in p-vine class, build a bell or something like that using, just to get through some topics again. Also, if we have new questions, that will be awesome. So arguments, variable. So first I will need sig. For sig, I will use sig equal to Clang. Specification array reference, that's this. Frag square will be frag. So frag will be here, I don't know, 300 or whatever I want for now. So here I want to use, array dot rand size. I want, I don't know, 16 nodes. And I will use this, 0.75 up to 20. This will be, harmonics. And will sort them out to have, the smaller ones at the end and the bigger ones at the maybe smaller ones at the beginning, bigger ones at the end. So I have like this correlation and I have like a harmonic sound. We have seen this in our additive synthesis class, but if you have any questions, please ask. This will be, 16 notes again, well, 16 values between 0.01 and 0.5. Dot sort, dot reverse. This should be a comma and not a semicolon. we are inside the stuff, and this will be array dot run saying 60 nodes between 0 and 2 pi. No, let's just do pi. Like that. I mean the Maxwell, what I'm doing.
Second array is envelope, yeah?
This is frequencies and this is amplitudes. And this
Yeah,
will be-
envelope.
not envelope, just amplitudes of each harmonic.
Okay.
Yeah, multiplication, exactly. The multiplication, very cool. And that's all. Well, I just add a fundamental here. I always get the fundamental as the loudest amplitude, but very good. So let's make an envelope very quickly. mgen dot control rate envelope dot perk 0.011 on action 2, then sig equals to sig times envelope. And here, instead of giving, I'm gonna add envelope as one of my variables. Instead, usually here I will get at the panning or whatever, but here I will do that because what I will do is that I will pass this melody through a scene, through a bus, but so that bus will be affected. I showed you that to show you the river and that, or we didn't have seen this. No, so that's perfect. That's what I want to see, because it's better to have the effects like in a separate bus, so you can send it more like you will do in a DAW. In a DAW, well, you have the channel of effect. So here I will leave my sound in mono and as wet as dry as possible. So out, boss, and sig. And here, instead of using boss 0, I will use out, just an argument. So first I have it in 0, but then I can specify in which boss I want to have it. If I play this, I should get a bell in my left ear. Let's choose one that I like. I will have that one. So now I will leave like that. Now the river and the panning, I will pass it through a channel that had those effects. Also, I will give it a delay. So I will have that inside like the effect channel of my melody. Also, this is important, for avoid the envelope to be, let me show you an example of this. I don't know if I have showed you this example, but it's a good moment for do it. There we go. So here I have a snare drum. Basically, that's the same snare drum that we made in class number 3. Basically, it's subtractive synthesis. Actually, today we're not doing we're going to repeat this process, but let's hear it. As dry as possible. Here, I have the river. If I dive the river inside the synth and see what happens. You see what happens? I will make it super obvious. That was a lot. It was a lot. But the river affects, but then the done action of the actual synth cuts the synth off at the end of the envelope and cuts the river. Why happened this? Because that's how done action behaves. But the problem is that river usually is a sonic event that is not related to the actual sound source. It's related to the place or to the actual environment. So if I make an applause, the reverb that I get from the room is not coming from the vibration on the hands. It's coming from the the back. How you say this when things? I always forget this word.
The environment.
Yeah, no, but the reflections. But there is another, like when you bounce. Yeah, when you bounce, when the sound bounces in the wall through towards you. Yeah. It's a reflection. But yeah, exactly. I was looking for bounce tank, Daniel. Like I was looking like, you know, when you bounce a ball. So well, so here I will take out the river again. Now here I'm using, first I'm gonna demonstrate how it sounds, and then I wanna show how it's made. I'm using a boss here. I'm using here a river that is using in. So let's go in. So it basically reads a signal from a bus. In.AR, in.KR reads signals from bus and from audio and control buses respectively. Here, in.AR can access audio signal that were generated in the current calculation cycle by the C nodes. So it basically can read from an audio signal and send it to a place you want. So in will basically has as the only argument, well, it has two, but the first argument is the index of the bus to read in. So it's basically to which channel you want to read. And I'm sending that in, that is basically an empty inlet through a river and through a banner. So I add this, I run the bus. Now I will run my river. Here you can see that I am running my river on the bus called bus. If I go to the plot tree, you can see that river is living in my server, not making sound, but living because it's an empty river. And then I'm gonna send this tarola, basically that's snare in Spanish, through the bus called bus. Now you can see that the complete sound. So now obviously here I put like the most, you know, possible and obvious river. I will make it less aggressive. Oh no, that's something's happening there. What I make here? This work as an actual boss or as an insert. What do you mean with an insert? I'm not fully understanding that.
Like the difference in a DAW, when you use it like an effect as an insert, is like in the chain of audio that's coming from the tarola in this case, and the reverb is in that chain before the output. I mean the
Okay, yeah, this is working like that,
output.
like you said. So you have
Like
so you have output, reverb, sounds, and
Okay.
I can, for example, in this case is snare, reverb, panning, and then I can add delay, and then go to the.
Okay, it's not like it's linear, not parallel.
Exactly, it's linear,
Okay.
and basically it's linear in the way because I have it here. It's linear because that's the way I build the synthesis. You see?
Okay.
So I can make other rings around, but in this case it's linear. So for example, if I put the panning before the river, it will pan before it's reverse. That actually doesn't make much a difference, but for example, changing the place of the river and a delay, that makes a sonic difference. It's not the same first delaying and then pass it to river than delay what is pre-reverberated. So that's important. And also I can have as much losses as I want. That's also important, you know. So here, yeah. So I will take this stuff to my actual place. I will get my bus and I will put it on top of my composition. Why? Because at the end I will start everything in order just to see like the order of execution when everything is made. So I run my bus. Also, you can see that bus indexes start from this weird number, YM36, because buffers start from 0 and buffers, and buses start indexing itself from 34 or 35, I think. don't know, not sure where it says that, but don't worry about that. It's basically that the way that SuperCollider do it's that doesn't mean that when you get to 35 or something, you are out of stuff. You just wait, it's indexed. So I have my melody, I have the banner, the river. Yeah. So let's take this, A equals synth, melody, and it's pass it through out in this case and pass it through boss, don't call boss. I hope that's not like confusing. I start the river, I start melody. I had river, you know? I will add river just because I like river. That's a little bit more river, I like it. So now it's also separated. And also in this case, if I wanted, I can use this river for as much instruments that I want. So if I have like, okay, I don't know, I have 100 sounds in my composition and I want 30 of them goes to just one river, it's super cool. Because one river is actually a CPU cost-wise effect, you know? If you have 50 running rivers at the same time, that will make a difference in the process of your computer. Not, you know, it wouldn't break it or anything, but it will make a difference if you start to escalate a lot of process, because rivers have a lot of calculations. Oh, cool, I have my melody.
Michelle,
Yeah, please tell me.
what is the difference between mix and the mul in the free verb?
Okay, mul is the multiplication,
Mhm.
and mix is more like this kind of how much wet and dry signal you want. 0 will be only wet, I mean dry. 1 will be only the wet signal without the original one, and 0.5 will be 50%. So here I have it at 80%, a lot more wet than dry. You know,
It's
this is like
a crossfade.
yeah, it's a crossfade between river and original signal. At least the way this river works.
Between 0 and 1, yeah?
Yeah. Room is just like a how you call this, like a artificial or virtual room that goes from 0 up to 1. So basically that makes how big is room. Usually bigger room makes more like if you are like in a warehouse or something, and if you go to a small room, you are kind of in a bedroom, at least how I think. And damp is like a high pass filter, kind of a high pass filter. What that means, usually, if you are, for example, in an empty house, you get a lot of reverb because you get a lot of bouncing. When you start to get things into the room, for example, a living room and a couple of beds and people, all those stuff, because they are of a medium size, work as high frequency filters, because actually take back the frequencies that are smaller, that are the frequency trigger. So basically that, you can think it as how crowded with stuff is the room, or how empty is the room, and that will affect the reverberance. That is usually, it's high pass because this usually doesn't work with really low frequencies because they are enormous. That's when you're approaching a party and you're outside of the house, you start to hear the bass drum and the bass before, and as you enter the room and as they open the house, you start to get the rest of the band. For example, just like an idea of how that, because a low, I mean a 60 hertz frequency, it's big enough, to go beyond your wall. That's also the same problem of why low frequencies aren't usually panned, in a theater or in a cinema. You just have a gigantic woofer, and it will fill the whole room. You don't want to be trying to pan that because it will not make such a difference because the actual wave is huge, so it doesn't matter. So cool. So cool. I have a river, and I will add to my chain delay because I like delays. So here, the one that I usually use, that's because I like it. I mean, there's a ton of delays in SuperCollider, but I usually use this called COM-C. It's a COM delay, so it's basically it's like a delay that is pretty similar to how the delay pedals work. Maybe I like this one because it reminds me of a pedal for an electric guitar. I don't know. Because it has like the same arguments that like the pedal I have when I used to play in a rock band. So COM delay line with see also, okay. So, okay, this is like a really crazy description, but if we go here, we can say that it has in, so which I want to delay. The max delay time is basically the maximum delay time in seconds used to initialize the delay or buffer size. So basically it's how much time the delay will record. Remember that delays have to record stuff to replay it back. At least that's the way Scollider uses a buffer. Then the delay time actually how often is repeated. So it's not the same to have like, or have, you know, like a really small delay that goes pretty fast. And then the decay time. The decay time is usually what in pedals, in guitar pedal, is called feedback. It's how much time the delay is sounded before it's actually fading out. And multiplication. So let's go here. So I go sig. Max delay time, you just have to put, I don't know, 5 seconds. And that's, you know, it's like a really super big buffer. Let's put it 1 second and make a delay of 0.25 seconds and make a decay time of 2 seconds, 1 second. And let's see how this works before actually going to something. So I get reverb running, but now reverb is reverb, delay, and panning, so we can call it effects. Okay, I don't like it because it like generates really weird stuff. So let's make this bigger. So let's make this and this. Let's see if I like it better like this. I like it better. It's just like I want something subtle. Why I want something subtle? Because I want to make a melody out of this, and I have like a lot of notes. It will get weird really fast. Maybe.
Michelle,
Yeah.
better if you use in delay time at random.
Yeah, that will be also some. Let's do that. Let's use delay and feedback.
Right. Yeah.
So actually, I want to randomize this. Actually, that's perfect idea. So let's work with this, like organize this like this. Delay. For now, I have 1 and feedback. I have 2. There we go. In a place where I put commas where commas should be. There we go. No. Sorry. Oh. Also, if I change, okay, so now I can change it. I'm gonna change dynamically this with a P-line. Well, but for now, for this, I will use a P-mono. So let's go through P-monos. P-monos are basically P-lines in the way they behave and in the way they wish I want to program them. But look at them. So P-monos are monophonic event streams. It says that they one instance of a synth. The pattern pair-defined changes in that one synth's control. This node is created when entering a P-mono and released when the P-mono terminates. There is just one node for the duration of the entire pattern, and it will strain through each event. If a monophonic phrase requires nodes or rearticulation between some nodes, see P-mono article. Okay, so what's the difference with the P-line? Remember that P-line works in events. And remember that every event is basically what we usually understand as a node. But what if I want to change dynamically the river? I don't want the river to be changing every node. I want to be changing more like in a through time without changing the node, without instantiating a new event. So maintaining the same, more similar to x.add, just to change the argument while the CNDF is running, and not generate a new CNDF node. That is what usually pbinds does. So basically, these pmonos do that. Change the arguments of something in time without creating a new node. And are pretty good for effects. So let's do this. I will go pmono. In this case, name, you can just give it directly which one you want to control, reverb. Here in pmono, you need to have, you don't need to put instruments like you did with the other ones. I'm gonna put delay. I wanna put P white. And I'm gonna do something between 0.8 and 1.2. I'm giving a little bit of space. I mean, it's not that much, because if pmono makes a really contrasting change, for example, if you like contrastingly go from a lot of delay to little delay, it will feel like a click, like, because it will change like the space, and that will feel unnatural. So it has to be subtle in this case. Then feedback is less worrying it, that I can be a little more crazy with feedback. And still, I don't want to be that crazy, so I can maintain something melodic. So I can go from, I don't know, from 1 up to 3. Well, let's see if it's not a lot. And let's like do and make the changes every 4 seconds for now. If I run this, it's wrong. Of course here, and I also have to need to give it a bus. So it's going through the actual bus that I want to activate. There we go. If I go to the s.plot3, well, I have a lot of reverbs running because there we go. Now it's empty. Run it. And it's working. We can't hear anything because there's nothing going through it. But if I run my melody, so what's the difference with the pbin? Let's see. And now I'm gonna make it like work so we can actually see the results. So let's just do this. I don't know if you can see that it's creating a new node each time the pbin. And pmono doesn't do this. For example, if I put to this something really crazy like do 0.2, like to make 5 notes per second, it's creating a lot of notes. But if I change it here, it's making the change, but it's always maintaining this 1101 node. And it's avoiding, because you don't want your effect to be getting on and off, on and off. It works well for the bell because bell has attack, but reverb has to be like constant. Well, in this case, I'm changing reverb, but it's just like if this will be like moving the walls of your room in time. I know that there's places that do that, like the Beast and the Cosmoniums as well. And I know there's pieces that work with that concept. So now let's work here with the pbin. So my pbin will be melody. So now we can hear both of them, working, so we can hear the actual result of reverb, because I have melody to be running, so make it super. This is gonna be out. This is gonna be bus. I'm gonna use a scale. We have used a scale a couple of times. I'm gonna create scale, obviously. So scale will be equal to, I'm not gonna crack my head, I'm just gonna use Phrygian. Here I'm just gonna put whatever, just so we can hear it. For degree, I'm gonna do a PSEC 0.0531. Go infinitely to this, and let's work. And I have to put this, I don't know, every 2 seconds.
Michelle, sorry. What
Yeah.
what means the degree concept there?
Is which degree of the scale I'm using. So this will be fundamental. This will be fourth up, minor third, and minor second. Start.
Okay.
So this is
The notes of the scale that you are using there.
Yeah, you see the Phrygian scale. We have seen scale before, right, or not?
No, yeah, but
No?
0, 5, 3, and 1 are the notes, the concrete notes of the scale we are using, yeah?
Yeah, just because I see a couple of notes here with the head. So I'm like taking a scale out of nowhere.
Okay.
No, I'm asking. I don't remember the scale. Okay, I go through scale in a second then.
Okay.
Did somebody else remember scale? Maybe I'm just, inventing this because, remember, I get confused sometimes.
No.
No, maybe that we haven't seen scale. So let's go through scale, but let's just hear it first to get on the river stuff. I still hear a little bit of click. I think it still is a little bit, too drastic. It should be here. Maybe make the delay a little bit smaller. I like it. Maybe this will work. Make it every 4 seconds. So I have like a correlation that's less aggressive. Let's do this just because I want to hear it. Which one? No, but I'm changing the delay, not the actual, because the river is maintaining stuff. Who's changing? Who's making this? What I can do? Oh yeah, no, I know what I can do. I can go here, mix, just to make it more obvious. Mix, maybe room. Go from 0.7 up to 0.9. 0.5, 0.7. Let's hear this one. That's better. Yeah, because I think changing the delay is what's making the problem. Changing the river.
So now you are using reverb instead of delay with pitch mono.
Yeah, because with delay, I was here like there's ways to fix this, but I don't want to get like too in depth of it. Basically, what I want to show you is how that P mono can control stuff that is continuous in correlation that P-bind actually works per node.
Yeah, P mono is continuous and P-bind is discrete.
Yeah, I think we use scale in the MIDI class, but let's go back to scale, don't worry. Scale. So a scale represents a musical scale. It says that scale supports arbitrary octave divisions and radius and can generate pitch information in varying ways, included as in patterns. So if I go scale dot directory, it gives me all the options of the scales that by default I can command those window help.
No, Michelle, you show us this stuff in the last class.
Yeah, I think so, but it wouldn't be a problem to just go through it again, I'm glad to do it. So we have like an augmented scale, Chinese scale, chromatic scale, Egyptian, Dorian, hex major. So for example, if I put a major scale instead of Phrygian, and I get the usual degrees of scale. So 0 will be a C, 2 will be a D, 4 will be a major third, that will be an E, 5 will be an F, 7 will be a perfect fit, that will be a G, 9 a minor 6, that will be an A, and 11 will be a major 7, so it will be the B. Obviously, if you change the root, I can start from a different note, but it's basically the same scale composition. And that's pretty cool because I can think in degrees instead of frequencies, and just degree do the work of transforming these numbers into actual frequency, because remember that my melody is waiting frequency. I mean, it's expecting to receive frequency inputs, but I can set degree and it's pre-converted. For example, I'm gonna go back to Phrygian, and I have this degree, let's hear it again. Cool. And now I want to change root. I put 3, that will be 3 semitones up. If I put -7, it will be a 5th down. So it will be in G. So I can control the fundamental, the roots, and my degrees independently. And this is pretty cool because you can think directly in scales. And also, if somebody like creating scales and everything you can go, and the scale has like the way, I haven't used it a lot, but you can create your own scale with your own arbitrary octave divisions, and you can go more in depth into micro tuning stuff.
Michel, is possible to pass from one scale to another in real time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this wouldn't make much of difference because I'm using the same degrees. But it will be just as easy as putting here a PSEC and putting a scale 1 and scale 2. So or a PRAN or whatever. So yeah, you can do that. So yeah, let's take the break now and see you everybody in 10 minutes, and so we can continue this. I'm gonna make more instruments, more P-bands, and then work with routines. But it's okay. I think we're going to new topics that are pretty good for composing, especially using P-bands. So, well, cool. So let's see in 10 minutes, everybody. Hello. Hello. I'm back. So please tell me when you're back. I can see
Michelle.
this. Yeah, tell me, Pepe.
Sí. ¿Qué tal?
Yeah. You were like saying I'm back, or you had a question?
No, no, I'm saying I'm back.
Great. I can see Morgan, I think. Yeah. Quentin. Now I can see Panayotis. Now it's dark. Now I can see the like night sky, Panayotis. I can't hear you.
Yes. This time called blue hour. You see?
Yeah. It's a really interesting sky. I like it.
Yeah, very nice.
Blue hour. Blue hour. It's some minutes this time, but 2-3 minutes before darkness. And now make a contrast with the light. You know, when blue
Yeah.
background.
Uh-huh.
Hey, wait me 1 second.
You're in Greece, yeah?
Jose, pardon? I beg your pardon?
You are in Greece, yeah?
Yes, near Athens.
Uh-huh. So nice.
Yes,
Sorry.
and you are in Colombia,
Yeah, in the capital city, in Bogota.
capital Bogota.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we saw all the series last year in Netflix with Escobar.
Yeah, but
That's
this is an awful past of my country. This is not a good propaganda.
It's the worst propaganda ever.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me about this. It's like telling German people about
Like the scene, you know, the
about
Holocaust.
Nazis or-
Yes, but all the people must be very brave to kill all this
Yeah,
organized.
really.
Yes.
My last girlfriend, father, works in this killing. He was part of the police government, or the boss of the police in that time, 25 years ago. My girlfriend, ex-girlfriend father was one of the heads of this capturing and killing from Escobar. Yeah, but this is not good propaganda, Panayotis. Here we have very good nature. We have.
I think, Jose, I
You
think
have great coffee, right?
this is not truth. I think it's a good propaganda because at the end the victory is the healthy mind, the healthy society.
Yeah.
At the end, the victory it's the yes.
We
It's
are,
not
having, we are having now some problems with the government. I don't know if you have been seeing the notice, the news. We have how do you say
What? You can tell me.
How do you say, Michelle? How do you say cuando la gente
Yeah, people are like going to streets to make
yeah, people are going to streets to tell the government that they are making the
protest.
things wrong.
Yeah, they are protesting, exactly.
Lots of protests in Colombia since 2 months ago, and the European community is making decisions about where it's going to be with the Colombian government, because Colombian government is making a lot of mistakes with the people, and yeah, this is more difficult than Escobar now.
You think so?
But the country is very beautiful and have a lot of natural resources, and we have a
That
good
is-
economy. We have a very good economy in
I think you have you must have great forests, huh?
yeah, and we have a very good economy in comparison with another Latin American countries. Yeah, I think Pepe and Daniel knows it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
and Michelle waits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
No, don't worry, don't worry. I was actually
Very interesting conversation.
yeah, don't worry. My wife was like giving me instructions because she's in here,
Okay.
so I'm taking the notes.
You see, blue hour, it passes.
Yeah,
Behind it's darkness. Yes.
I live 4 years in Europe, Panayotis.
Oh, where?
3 years in Oxford, in UK.
England.
Yeah, in
UK.
Oxford, and 1 year in Geneva, in Switzerland.
Genova. Hmm.
Yeah, in Switzerland, because my father has jobs in universities.
Uh-huh.
So I go with accompaniment visa to these countries and study French and English.
Uh-huh.
And I know Europe. Yeah, it's very beautiful.
So yeah, let's get back in action. Sorry about. No. This is not the only group that we have been through this style of, because it's really interesting to have like this.
You know,
Well-
Michelle, I think it's a last lesson, but not least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I have another groups that also have like this really big diversity, and I really like, to have these cultural approaches, or have, yeah, basically music getting us together, but having different backgrounds and so everything. So yeah, me myself, well, I live in Mexico, but I'm like, well, I live a lot of years in California, so it's kind of half Mexican or something like that. But I really like Mexico. So let's go. Yeah.
Michelle, I heard last month, that's Mexico City. It's a best artistic city. It's a very contemporary art cultivated in Mexico City. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No.
it has like a really big scene towards that. I used to live in another city in Mexico called Morelia, but now I live here in Mexico City. Just because of that, I got a job at the museum. Also, I got a scholarship, well, but more like a prize to build an installation. So yeah, I have more things to do that in like the other cities.
Yes, like Berlin, like London, like New York,
Yeah, it's kind of what's happening.
Paris, and also Mexico City. It's
Yeah.
surprised that Mexico to cultivate new contemporary.
Yeah, actions, exactly.
I think it's more than Buenos Aires, more active Mexico City than
Yeah,
Buenos Aires.
and also Buenos Aires is kind of another capital for that. So well,
And Melbourne also. Yes.
oh, yeah, Melbourne also. So
Yeah,
cool.
Melbourne.
Sorry but I have to go just because I want to go
Yes.
through. So well,
Let's start.
I kind of, okay, so I'm here. So for now, let's build. Okay, I will leave it like that. I will take the root stuff. And I will give it something like that. I will give it a rhythm, something like tun, tuka, ti, tun, tuka, ti, or something like that. Just to make like a base for a beat or something, you know. I want to build something really simple because so I can go working with the p-vines and with the routine in a more interesting way.
Michelle, if you will going to use in the PSEC two scales, we have to write both scales in yellow scale, yeah.
No, it will be the same scale, just here will be something like this, you know, PSEC. For example, if I want to change every node to a different scale, it will be like scale and scale 1, you know,
Okay.
something like that. Because it's the same key, but I'm addressing to different variables.
Okay.
I can give an example at the end if I have more time. For degree, I will go, I'm using the Phrygian one. Where is this stuff? Here, degree.
Michelle, sorry, just a minute. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have to go because I have to visit my sister that is sick.
okay.
But are you going to notice us about the other?
Yeah, I will put it on the Facebook chat, and also I will have it like a little talk at the end of the class, so you can also address the video and then the information I have written down for you.
Okay, so
Yeah,
see you next
workshop.
workshop. Bye
Great.
bye to
Bye bye,
everybody.
Jose. Nice
Very
to.
nice to
Bye-bye, Jose.
interact with you.
Bye-bye.
Nice
Bye-bye.
to meet you. We see you in next session.
Yeah, next workshop.
Webinar. Yes.
Yeah, okay, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Cool. So great. So I have it like this. Let's hear this. But I have to run them together. I like it, but I want it to be fast. Also, I'm gonna use a weird tempo clock because usually, as you can see, routines work in cycles. And that works pretty well when you are at 60 BPM or at 120 BPM. But if you are in a different BPM, then you have to use another trick. So I want to address that. So I want to use, for example, 130. That's like a really off numbers. In this case, I need both of also my river. So actually, if the river is every 4 times, so it's every bar changing. Basically, that's what I want to make. Let's see. I like it. So let's use some sampling for this. So let's get a snare and a kick running with sampling. Let's make the hi-hat from scratch using subtractive synthesis. And let's make a bass like an 808 using FM synthesis. So we can go and address everything in the routine. So also we can go again through PWRAN and that stuff that maybe it was a lot for third class, so we can repeat those processes. So let's get some samples, and I can give you I can upload the samples to, how you call this, to the have some here. For example, I have this kick. I have this snare. I just pre-selected to avoid losing time, but I'm gonna upload it to the classroom. This is our classroom, perfect. Sorry about this. I want to go desktop, the kick. And I want to, no, not link. File and snare. The samples. Post. So remember, for this you have to go here, open a new window, and then you will be able to download it. Because if you just click it, it just will be like a preview. So get that in mind. So let's have my snare running here. Where's my snare? Here. Come to me, snare. There we go. So also this will be a little bit of repetition towards what do you call this? Buffering. That was like, it was class number 6, if I'm right. So let's call this snare buffer dot read and get it on the server. Cool. And let's make a scene def for this. Like a really simple one. So there will be snare. This, you know, if you hear it, the sample has like its own reverb. So I will leave it like that. Arguments. So amplitude. Signal equals play buff. 2 channels, buff num will be snare dot buff num. I will leave add the done action, because remember it was done by itself when the sample is. I think I can go with like this. Six times amplitude, and we are running here. Cool. So now let's build a scene for this. Once I got 2 p-vines running, I can start to address stuff on the routine. So I can start build my score. So here I will go p-vines. This. So instrument will be my friend snare. For amplitude, I will use 1. Why I'm using amplitude again, even though I already have it on the SceneDef? Because sometimes if you don't address, like you don't put the number you want, even though you put it on SceneDef, sometimes, most of times, especially with amplitude, p-vine will take like the default that has like pre-argumented for amplitude that is usually like 0.3, or I think less of that. Is, you know, it's not so loud. So duration pwrand. So remember, just to get a refresh of this, pwrand is a random generator, but that works with weights. So we can give it probability to each of our options. So we have the options, the weights, and repetitions. So I will address this in this way. So for the options, I will give it different sequences. So we have some randomness, but with the direction. So for this, I will go like this. So these two options in a 4/4 bar will be like 1, 2, 3, and cla, first option, cla, second option, and cla, third option. Doesn't seem like much of a difference, but it makes it. So I want the first option to be the most prominent one, and the other ones have 25 and 25%. Normalize them, so this will go in a range of 1. Let's hear it. It doesn't make much sense without the actual bit running. So I will take this out and just like get it like this. I will copy this. Also take out this. And I will just like add this to the server. Why I'm adding this to the server? Because I actually want it to be activated inside my routine. So I have time-wise decisions. So I go routine, function. So the first thing that I want to happen is, for example, let's call this A equals, I have to keep, I have to be I need to address this with some names. So this will be river. This will be Mel as Melody. And this will be snare. So I can address it inside here. When I run in pbinds, if I do this, for example, if I go snare dot play, it works. But if I try to stop it, let's see what happens. Keeps running. For this, I have to do this. A equals snare dot play. And then I can stop A. And that will actually stop pbind. Because pbinds are a reference stream that work in the server. So it's a reference to itself. So I have, in this case, I need a reference to the reference. I know that it's counterintuitive, but that's how the server works. So just you have to keep that in mind. So here I will put river dot play with the tempo clock I want. And here I want A1 equals to, well, let's call this B. So I have my B, no. Yeah, B. I haven't used letters in this batch, right? Yeah, B will work well. So B equals to Mel. So now I want to wait. So the problem is if, for example, I want to wait 8 bars or 4 bars. I can use 4, for example, 8 will be 2 bars, 8 seconds. But this is not running at seconds because it's running at a different quarter node. So I have to make a little process. If 60 is equal to 1, 130, it's what? So that's in Spanish is a regla tres simple, that in English will be a, it's just a mathematical operation that works like this. I don't know the name in English, sorry about that, but it's super, I will get it just like here. So 60 is equal to 1 second. So 130 is equal to what, right? So for this, I just have to go 130 times 1 divided by 60. And I get this number. So back to Collider. So I will say that tempo equals 130 plus 5 times 1, so it's 130. So 130 divided by 60, am I right? There you go. No, it's based. It's the other way around. 60 divided by 130. Sorry, I messed up. What I did here. There we go. So 0.46, whatever ridiculous number, that duration, it's equivalent to 1/4 note. So if I want to wait 2 bars, or let's say, yeah, for example, let's say 4 bars, I go tempo times 16. So it will be 16 times of my tempo equal to 4 bars. So equal to 1, 2, 3, and 2, t, ki, 3, 2, t, 4, 2, t, and cla, cla, cla. So here I can add my snare and it will get on the tempo that I actually want. When I run it, and I can explain again if something went like off. What happened here? Oh, of course. Here I have to put tempo multiplied by 16 dot wait. No, so it actually waits this time. So basically we'll do this operation. That's 7 that numbers will be 4 bars of my 130 tempo. 3, 4, next bar. Something's weird here. I feel something weird.
Is it because the routine, there's a lag in the routine? Does it need to be quantized or something, or? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that could, I mean, I can quantize it, but this shouldn't be the problem. So let me just get it this running. TW2, oh, maybe I just get confused because it started with this one and I was expecting the hit in another tempo. I think that was, and I get confused. Let me see. I want to wait like just 4 times, so I just wait a bar. I still feel something weird. I'm just gonna make here, maybe I make a mistake. Yeah, I can quantize. That's, of course I can quantize, but I usually don't need it. So I just let me see what's happening. Okay. I think something is happening.
Or is the bells themselves, the sound is like?
Yeah, the bells is
It's-
making something weird.
Maybe it has a slow slow attack, or?
Yeah, I will
something.
get the bells without the effect to see if something's happening with my process affecting. Yeah. Yeah, something is happening here.
Or the length of the phrase is.
No, the phrase is okay because it will be tak, tick, because I will dan,
I see.
that. No. It actually now it worked this time. I think it's something in my. I think it's something that has to do with the COM-C. I will just take the COM-C for a moment. Eliminate possible criminals here. So maybe this is the problem. If I go pause, because I always feel like a small delay when it was starting with that running. So let's see here. Now it's working. Let's see it. Let's do it with the. Yeah, now it's working. Something was, it's on the first beat. It feels like it's like getting inside the first beat, right? um, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Where I'm getting the something, maybe something to do with snare. 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 5. Maybe it's something with what's wrong with my snare. Let's get my snare. You know, again, get my snare running like this. Why didn't it run? I didn't get it running or something. There you go. Now it runs, okay, right? Now it didn't understand what's happening. Let's just do this. It's weird. Let's get back to the whatever's happening. So run my bus, run my melody, run my reverb, now without delay, run my scale, run my buffer, snare, run my reverb, these old guys. Of course, now I have like this really weird position. Okay, now it's working. So now let's find the rest the problem. That and that will be, so I can go 50, 25, and 25. There we go. That's it. That's working. Okay, this is one of those times, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. So tempo multiplied by 16 dot weight. But let's see if now everything wants to run again. Back on. There we go. Boom. Boom, 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 bam, yeah, it's working. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe something with sir, I don't know. But now it's working okay. Something what's going on with the COM-C. I will get to this maybe later, or maybe the buffer. So let's get the feedback. Maybe they get it the feedback before the read, not sure. Let's avoid losing time for now. I will leave it like this. I have another patch that I know that works correctly with COM-C and Freeverb, so I will just check them and say if I found the problem. So now we're back in action. So now it waits the correct time. So now I can add new instruments, right? So I will add a kick, I will add a hi-hat, and I will add an 808. And once I get all my elements running, I will make different variations. So we can have like a bridge and maybe some like the part that's like the crucial part. So we have parts of different, because the last time we just have this beat that has all these parts starting and now we can have structures. So wait me just 1 minute. I'm gonna go to the button really quickly. Sorry, too much coffee by now. And wait me just a second. Sorry, I'm back. Cool.
Sorry, there's a message. Okay, yeah.
What?
There was a message in Facebook about someone wanting to join, but I think Fotis is here.
Ah, yeah, Fotis. Now I just let him in. Hello, Fotis. Okay, so let's add. I want to do this kind of quickly just to have. I can play with the routine instead of just making this index. I'm gonna use the kick. Kick, come to me. Let's copy that again, so I have to get the kick again. Yes. Sorry. Something weird was happening. No, kick, 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 kick. Make a use of this. So we're gonna call this kick. I'm gonna call this kick. One here and make a new, even using the same structure, just because similar in that matter, just keep it 3 options. Kick. For the options, I will. Do it like this. There we go. Now add the snare. So for the snare, I want to create the snare from 0. Here, you see, we have used the additive synthesis for the melody, sampling for kick and the snare. So let's use subtractive synthesis for this one and FM synthesis for the 808. Just to have a little bit of all the synthesis that we've been through. You know, something slow, so call hat for this argument variable. Let's use input because I'm gonna filter something. It's a ping noise. And for sig, use a high pass filter. Then that beyond 8,000, so I want it to be filtered pretty high. And make an envelope work with this. I want something really small to get that really mechanic kind of digital sound. There we go. Sig equals sig time envelope, pass this through a banner, and to see you this out. C, no, 0 and C times amplitude. Amplitude will be here. And I know that I know that here, because I'm using a ping noise, and remember that ping noise has like this actual overall perception of what's happening towards equal. So it's basically losing amplitude towards the high end of the spectrum. So I know it will be pretty not loud. So I can multiply this by like a ridiculous number like 8, and it wouldn't break our ears. See? If I put it in 1, that will be the way to go. It will be to hit. Let's put 10. Obviously, don't do this craziness of putting a 10 or an 8 in amplitude if you don't know and you don't have like the pre-experience of actually doing this, because it can be pretty, well, if you had headphones, it can be really bad for your ears. And if you had, you know, speakers like these ones, it could be really bad for the speakers. So just, yeah. Especially your ears. I mean, speakers, you can buy new ones, but you can't buy new ears. So
I mean, I've seen some people, they whenever they're experimenting with things like this in Super Collider, they send the audio out into a DAW and they have a limiter in the DAW, so that just in case.
Yeah, also you can do that inside Collider. You can send everything to a bus and have this object. Limiter, yeah. So you have also a limiter in here. Yeah, that's also pretty good. Yeah, it will be better than just having faith like myself. But I have made this hi-hat in a lot of the workshops. I know that it works. So that's also the reason I did. Yeah, when I'm making new sounds from scratch, then I have a lot more. Yeah. Also, when I make actual experimenting or composing, I usually don't use headphones. I use my speakers. Especially if I want to do something more low, basic. Okay, so I have this, my hat. I go here and I go program my hat. Hat come to me. Hat. Hat. And I have to change all these. So it will be something like this sec. So I'm trying to make it something more fun. So, 1, 2, 3. You know, like variations of the same stuff. Yeah, let's try with this one. Cool, so let's get that running. For this, I want to do like this. 8. B. IDE. I just want everything running before I start playing. Kick. Hat. Let's hear this just to see if there's any mistake before I go to make the 808. The 808, well, basically we didn't just, well, let's just go by step by step. Let's hear this. So it has enough variation and it's pretty cool. So you just now add the 808 and then start playing it with routine around. So I actually get variation. I just need more time in here, I think. And yeah, let's do it like this.
Yeah.
There was a question there?
Yeah, it's can you just remember us, because I'm pretty sure we saw it, like, you know, the failure in server that we see on the right. So it's linked to like a pbind which is done and something, but you know, can you just recall us why we have this failure in the server?
Yeah, for example, imagine here in my hi-hat that hi-hat is expecting to send a 0.5 note.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be octave, at least at my BPM.
Mm-hmm.
But my hi-hat actually just lasts 0.125 seconds, like a quarter of the actual.
Mm-hmm.
So it then done action, so it frees itself from the server, and then the pbind can't find that synth for the rest of the time. So I know it's kind of annoying. There's a way to make this don't happen. I will look at the patch. There's like a way to say, okay, server, when this happened, please don't tell me because I don't care.
Okay.
So let's hear this again, just because I wanted. Cool. Let's make the 808 and then start going to differences so we can actually play only with the routine and see how the routine works as a composition tool once you get everything running. So the 808, I'm gonna make it from scratch also. I mean, I can use for something like, I want something similar to, for example, like this, you know? That something similar to that, that would be super cool. Yes. Yeah, it's everybody familiar with that term that I'm using, the 808? I can explain, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hassan nodded like, yeah, I know 808s. Yeah, I love 808s. Yeah, they're pretty damn good. Yeah. So let's do C equals sinus dot or frec. So then our hit frec equals 60, just to work with a really low frequency as to be hearing it. Obviously, I want to use like my root node for now, so that's okay. So here I'm gonna put mod. So this will be plus mod. I'm gonna do FM to add, heaviness to this. Like this. So then for mode, I will go frec divided by, I don't know, 0.25. So I want something low that has like a ratio with my actual frequency. Phase 0 and move. I want something like this. Also, I want to have this. FM by spade FM by mod 2. So I have like a second modulation. Sorry, I must leave. Okay, yeah, it's okay if I notice. Have a great night and see you.
Sorry to interrupt you. I will send you to everybody a link of a friend of mine who uses Collider.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, I already opened it here so I can see it.
Yes.
Did you like his stuff?
Pardon?
Did you like his style or just to, yeah. Just, yeah, so I can analyze what he's doing well.
You ask me something?
Yeah. You like his style, your friend's style using Super Glider.
Yes, he teaches in University of Cyprus.
Okay.
He uses the Collider many years. His name is Marinos Koutsoumichalis. So he's playing a different kind of music. Perhaps it's interesting for you to hear something different ideas.
Cool.
Okay, nice to meet you, everybody. So Michel, I'm waiting for your news, news of and Arduino or something else.
Arduino, it will be sure, but I think Arduino stuff will be on August.
August, okay.
That's because I'm leaving the vacations in July, and I can take my computer. I will still be teaching classes because I need money. But the Arduino stuff will, like all my stuff is in here. I will just take my computer to the vacation. So it's mainly because my daughters want to go to the beach. So yeah, I will be working on the beach.
August.
Yeah.
Have a nice time to everybody.
See ya, Panayotis.
Bye bye.
See, Anna.
Bye bye.
See you, Panayotis.
Bye, Quentin, Kassam.
Yeah, bye.
Daniel.
See ya. Now, what I was doing, of course, I was adding more. I want to add more, FM here. She's gonna be frec times 2. So I want to modulate by a more big number, maybe times 4. Yeah, I can do times 4 plus mod. No, that will be just like that because that's modulating. And here we'll put like a big index so I can get distortion of this. Also, I will add here harm1. I want to add frequencies to assure my actual fundamental believing in the stuff. So frec divided by 2. So I want like a subharmonic here. I can leave it like that. Then harm2. Here I want an octave, also adding adding beefiness to this. So this is frec by 2. So I'm like adding just like the stuff we see, remember, in how you call this, the Yamaha DX7 that she always using a combination of additive and FM if you want to like have something that feels, you know, actually well tuned. And here I'm adding an X harmonic times 4, 0.25. And also I'm adding here noise. I want that, you know, that distortion going on. Harm 3, oh, thank you. Thank you. So this will be, thank you, Daniel. Harm 2, harm 3, noise. So for noise, I will add a white noise in the mix, just so I have like a little bit, because if I add it subtly, it will act as a distortion. It's not an actual distortion, but it works pretty well as a distortion. But I have to like be really quietish with this one. Maybe 2. Let's see. If it's too much, I take it back. So then I will like C equals C plus harm 1 plus harm 2 plus harm 3. Obviously, mod and mod 2 are like contained in C. And then I can go and.
In the variables, do you also need to add harm 1?
Of course. Yeah. I always forget to put variables until, you know, SuperCollider told me, please put variables, Michelle. And noise, yeah, I have to add everything. Noise here, and also amp that I'm gonna use in the second. There we go, amp. Oh, also I have to, yeah, add noise to the mix. Thank you. Also, that was important. And yeah, control. Let's do it like this. Why I'm doing harm 2, 3 like free and not add them inside the actual signal using Clang? Because I want those to don't be affected by the FM. Just to add beefiness to my node, and the FM just add distortion. So then M here will be M percussion. I want to do something like this because I want this to be an 808. And I want this to last exactly, let's just do it this 1 bar, just to be. So for this to be 1 bar, I want to be tempo times 4. So that's like really cool to have your tempo, like you can work with it. On action. I mean, I can do something more interesting and give it melody. For now, just like leave it like this, you know, just to see if C equals pan. No, C equal, well, yeah, pan 2. C times envelope 0. And let's just hear that just by itself. Maybe it will need some reverb, but yeah, reverb is always cool for that stuff. But let's hear it dry just to see if it actually feels like what I wanted to feel, or at least similar. So interesting. What I'm doing wrong. You didn't hear it, right? I'm just gonna see if something happened. Okay. Where is the stuff? Okay, here. And you see, this was a really weird problem, especially because I get no feedback from SuperCollider. I get silent treatment. Those are the worst bugs to, you know, to debug when you don't have the experience. But this is something you had when you are like making edited and you sum up something that is not audio rate. This happens. Now it should work. I still had a little bit more punchiness that I want. I'm missing. I want more bass in this case.
Can you layer something else on top of the?
Yeah, I'm gonna layer. That's of course. Also, I'm gonna take a lot less noise because I'm feeling a lot of noise. That's basically taking a lot of the from this. I'm gonna go low pass filter.
And maybe less of the higher harmonics.
exactly, less volume of the higher harmonics, and let's from it's just frag as this. The higher harmonics, yeah, make it, exactly, make it less powerful. And let's see. That's better. That's better. I still like. I still want. I see if I can get more beefiness out of this. No, that's craziness. I still can. I will add this. So that layer, I will layer a little bit more. It will be 4. So I will duplicate also my, my actual frequency. I will get also here C.
And should it be plus harm 4, not equals harm 4? The envelope.
Yeah.
Sorry, the signal.
Yeah, and my plus and my equal signal are the same key. The mod is dividing the frequency is the same as. You mean here? This will be.
The one below. I was like wondering if it's the same, like divided
because this will be like
0.25.
this, and 60 divided by 0.25, I will get, what, 15? Ah, cool. Of course, I have to multiply. Thank you. Yeah. What I wanted was the low number. That should make the difference. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you about that, because I'm pretty sure that will change my. Let's see. That looks more like it. Still a little bit flop, I still like more power in this. Why I'm making this? Because this is plus mod. So this division maybe is the problem. Let's look like this. If I get a lot of that, that was better. Let's see if this doesn't break it. Kind of break it. So what about this? What about
can we add some distortion?
Yeah, that will also help. Now I can add power in here. That's better. That's a super better. I think that will be okay because I have like a really clicky kick. This one, my kick break. Something happened with my buffs. Snare is okay. Something happened with my buffers. There we go. Yeah, distortion will be an option, but for now, let it like this. Yeah, I'm just gonna use this one for now. Also, sometimes what I do is also that I sample stuff that I like. Yeah. Also, maybe wave shaping. Maybe wave shaping would be. I think I have get the best results using wave shape synthesis. But I just didn't want to use this one because I haven't taught you that. I haven't teach you the wave shape synthesis. But I like those wave shape synthesis with the fan. But for now, I like the bass. So let's use bass in here. Where's bass? Wait, bass is nowhere. So scenario. Where's bass? Bass. You will be bass. because I want to work with use the rest of the class to work with the melodies, you know, with the, just teach a couple of stuff. So this wouldn't be okay. Scale, I like scale. Degree, just use -24. Duration, just use 4. And this will be like this. A, B, C, D, F. Pass. Let's see if this works. Something happened. I think I reboot the server at some point or something like that. Let's, okay. This will be also a good thing to just run everything in order. So because I wanted to do that. So I'm gonna save my patch. Stop, this is class 8. Starts with the second. This is, sorry about this. There we go. So server, reboot server. So if I'm like getting this from the start, I will go run my boss. I will run melody, reverb, scale, snare, kick, snare, syndef, kick, syndef, hat, syndef. Need to run my tempo because you know my bass depends on that. It will sound good with everything. Then run reverb, melody, everything going up to this point. Now it should work everything on the front. First, if I actually highlight everything that I want to be. Cool, it works. I mean, this, I can really go and fine tune everything, have reverbs, have filters. I don't know if you see, for example, the melody is taking place, it's like too widespread. I will use like a bandpass filter, so I have more room for the bass and more room for my hat, and also I will put my snare in this, and I will put my hits doing this and that. So I can get like this, but yet, you know, this stuff for master, and also I'm talking about specific for that genre. But now I like it. It's working the way I want. So now let's do this. Let's make a little bit of structure here. So for example, I will let this run, I don't know, 32 seconds. Well, 32 times, that will be 60, that will be 8 bars. And then have kick, bass, and snare. Stop dip. Have 8 bars of this, 4 bars of this, I mean. And then kick, you know, kick, bass, cat is already running, so we got this one. Where's snare? There she is, snare. Let's run these for another 16 ones. I'm just doing this kind of randomly, but just to make it a little structure. And then have all this stuff, but instead of F, this time will be E. Wait, only 8 of these. I run this. Wait a second, give me a second. Yeah, I have a question here. Is there a way to make it a fade in or a fade or a crescendo in one of the synths? Yeah, what do you mean? To get something enter with a fade in?
Yeah, like I don't know, in the third part, the hi-hat enters with a crescendo or something like from.
Yeah. Let's do that after. Yeah, we can do that. There's like a couple of ways, different ways to do that.
Okay, thanks.
So there we go. Here I have snare running. So let's get back kick. No, wait, let's have back hat. Then this back. I have kick back. There we go. Just I want just to make like different structures. Then let's make this that you say. Let's see if I didn't mess up this one. Stop it there manually. As you see, it's having now different structures, entering stuff, getting stuff out. Actually, I lost myself in that at some point. It's looping the last one. What do you mean?
Like the last part of the routine. Is it looping? It was looping at the end, right?
No, it just stopped it, but because the p-bines they are actually looping. So yeah, for example, what I can do, for example, here, just to make a different here's before they stop and you want they here's yeah they enter back. So here I will go and say d dot stop, just to make an end and we can hear it so it's more clear. I can also show you how to loop stuff, but for now, just I want to do this. So this is stopping the kick. Then I want the snare to go also. This will be the snare. So, and then have, this is the hi-hat will be E. Let's say G, and also the bass E. Or here. It's B, right? Because, well, also I want to stop the reverb here. Just to have like an end of this, and that doesn't last like our whole lives, right? And then in it pretty roughly, but you know, just because it ended at the end of that last. Actually, it would be better to not stop the reverb until so you don't get like, so the reverb gives you a little bit of space room to end on. Also, it would be very cool if I can get some risers going on. For example, like dun, 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 and then ka, ka, and boom, clack, clack, boom, clack, and well, that will make it just. But this is composition wise, you know, structure wise, we can do whatever. Also, I'm doing like a really fixed composition structure that is, you know, hip hop, but you can get really experimental with this pretty quickly. Is there a question you want to ask, Daniel?
To repeat the whole structure, we will have to make a routine out of this routine, right?
You want to just repeat this?
Like the whole, let's say, song.
Okay, yeah. For that, would be easier to make is like a routine. Dot play, and inside the routine, go put another routine, but just dot loop.
Okay.
So this will loop whatever is inside here. So I can go. This is a loop of post line 2-point weight. This is important to put the weight because remember this is looping. In general, okay. It doesn't matter if I put the weight. You will see like tons of this loop. This will be every 2 seconds. But if for some reason I put something inside a loop without a weight that has to do something that doesn't exist. For example, if I put without the weight, I put x dot set amp 1 and x doesn't exist, it will crash the server like in 2 seconds. So be careful with, you know, infinite process that doesn't go nowhere. So let's see this one. And we'll do it for the rest of times. If I take it, this won't crash the server, don't worry. It will be a lot, as you can see. If I wanted to do it pretty quickly, this will be quick enough. But let me clean up the, something is happening. This is not Super Collider. I think my computer is like getting all crazy. Let me, what happened? No, I just save it, yeah. Give me a second, something. That was not a crash. That was not my server Super Colliding, like going crazy. This was my computer going crazy, I think. That's it. Sometimes when you're using Zoom and whatever other program, yeah, some really makes. Give me just 1 second. Everything's fine. So now this should work. Oh, well, in a place where my server wants to do stuff. Yeah. Okay. Here, this is a real common mistake. It says Super Cloud audio here. It says exception in will open do being address already in use. That means that I have like a server running background. For that, just go server, kill all servers. I reboot server, and usually that's all. Yeah. So now routine, please do what you have to do. There you go. There. Now it works. Oh, also I can do like this, R equals this, R dot stop. So when you're working with more than one routine, it's good to have every routine name so you can have control routines. Also, I know this is usually something that everybody asks me when I'm having like giving classes about the installations and we're working together, that if routines takes a lot of space, they don't. So, I mean, they don't take a lot of process. You can have like 50 or 100 routines running at the same time and it will not load your server, not much as audio processes. So, I mean, it's a lot more costly audio effects than just process. These are processes that use just data. Give me a second because my cat's doing something weird. I'm gonna stop her. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm back. She was eating the trash. I don't get her, but everything's okay. Okay, so yeah, I know. Cats. I have 3 of them, so it's always every one of them is doing something weird. Okay, so and also I have 2 others. I will show you, yeah, like the example of like the same example that I just showed you, but the one that I did in another moment. But it's the same idea, just to show. It's also another beat. But this one is all do with synthesis. There's no sampling. So it has what same idea, the melody, the look at this. Maybe this was the problem in the other one. I make a synth here for the river, and a scene depth for delete. Maybe this will solve the problem that we were having. Because if I do it like this, I should have a reset. Then I have the hi-hat, a kick that is additive synthesis, a snare that is extractive synthesis, and an 808 that I think that this 808 worked better. And I just use, here I just use FM synthesis. Let's see. Then I have same stuff, you know, scale, room delay, everything, you know, p-vines. And I have a routine here. So let's hear a couple of moments. Here I use 120 BPM just to use like round numbers in the weights. Also, this is panned. Do you hear the panning? No, right? No, I hate Zoom with all myself. Well, don't matter. You will hear it on the recording. On and on. Also, I want to show you some couple of samples now with something that isn't, you know, beat driven and it's more experimental. I don't know if the routine will work, but if no, I can show you the routine and the recording of it, because maybe the routine wouldn't work now because I use a lot of samplers that aren't in the correct place. But let's see. Because I changed my stuff to this external hard drive, and that changed the direction of stuff, you know, because it added the path. It was this one, if I'm not wrong. Also, this one, okay, this one I'm using Bebop. That's an extension that you have to install. That it's because this was intended to work with a 16 speaker array dome. So you have like six speakers here, 6 below above you, and 6 below like a sphere around you. Also, I'm using tons of buffers in this case, and gigantic, enormous. Yeah, let me see the buffers. Yeah, this wouldn't work. But what I try to say is that I run the whole routine, the whole piece through the routine, and I just recorded it, and I just get the 16 channels array, so I don't have to do any. That's what I sent to the festival. Let me see. Okay, this is gigantic to me. Okay, I don't know how much more will work in this, but yeah, here's the routine. You know, so the routine was. This is not only p-vines. I was starting scene depths, changing things of the scene depths in real time, because I have like things running in parallel, not just p-vines, because this is not was so beat and drive. It was more like experimental stuff. Also, I have like here, I have p-vines, stop p-vine front. So you can run the whole piece in this way. I like Fotis that says that the way we make the composition run vertically reminds me a bit of Renoise. I'm not sure about Renoise, but yeah, it's different to think this. Also, obviously, this is not the only way to do that. I can show you a little bit of that composition if I'm right. Yeah, I can show you this one. This is a binaural rendering of the piece that I made. But I think you wouldn't be able to hear it there. No, you wouldn't be able to hear it there. Am I? Because you wouldn't feel the binaural through. Let's do this pretty quickly. So you can, because I think the binaural doesn't work because you need the stereo stuff to be working. And if I think Zoom makes like a mono mix and then duplicate it, and that's awful for. Is everybody like familiarized with this binaural technique or no? Yeah, I tried to activate that original sound. Actually, in one of my classes, I activate at least stereo, but now it doesn't work. I don't know. Last time I tried, it was awful. I didn't manage to do it. So yeah, binaural. Actually, for that binaural, I use the ATCAT, the Ambisonics toolkit. They have like a series of patches for Super Collider, like classes that you kind of load, and you can all do that on Super Collider. So let's do that. I just gonna upload it pretty quickly, and let's hear. Yeah, I don't know, hear a couple of minutes, and then we come back to class. Here it is, just because I want to show you that all that piece was like make it with it's almost synthesis, so that's also cool. The recordings that you see there, it was like recordings that I pre-made in Super Collider, and I just recorded to avoid so much processing at the same time. Where I have it. But this. It would take a couple of seconds because it's a longer piece. I think it's like 6 or 8 minutes, but don't hear it completely. Just take
Michel?
Yeah.
I was wondering because last week we saw, to send MIDI to something like Ableton, DAW, but if I want to send just like the audio, if I would just want to record the audio, because I wasn't really able to figure that out, because is it easy? I mean, how can I just like record my audio into like a DAW or send it?
But you want to record it inside of the DAW?
Yeah, I mean, if I can, I mean, for example, if I just want to, send, be able to, yes, I mean, just receive, like the audio that we are playing.
So you can process it directly in the DAW, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a precise idea, but I don't know, because.
Yeah, it's possible. It should be through the bosses. I haven't done it because.
Okay.
Because usually I just record it and then use it on the DAW or produce it in Super Collider. But I will look at it and I will give you the answer this week.
Okay, great.
If I see that it's like a really complex answer, then I will tell you, okay, I have, but if it says it's easy, because it should be easy.
I mean, on the Mac, I use Soundflower. So my Super Collider uses Soundflower out.
Yeah, that also I did it. I have done that.
And then Soundflower into the DAW, and then the.
Yeah, I use Soundflower as an input. Yeah, I have done that.
So it's like the IAC driver that we saw. I mean, it's just like go through the Soundflower and.
Yeah, Soundflower is. I have it here, for example. Soundflower, it's a virtual sound card that has this particularly, it's not the only software that lets you do this. Actually, I think if you have like the newer Macs or you have to download something more new because it's not like refresh it, I mean. But basically it lets you choose the output of your computer as an input. Mm-hmm. So it lets you, I use it to steal stuff from YouTube and from whatever channel, because everything that you are running, that you're hearing on a computer, you can record it. Also in class level 2, I have like this process of teaching you how to use whichever you found in YouTube, whichever instrument as a sampler, and use it and then in a P-Vine in Super Collider. Obviously, Sunflower supports that, or you can use an MP3 down filer, or there's like different ways. But I think there should be a way without the Sunflower.
Okay. No, I'm seeing like, for example, another use case would be if you basically want to mix, some modular with Super Collider, and if you playing live, if you are able to just send the output, the audio from Super Collider, you can just mix it with whatever you're playing on the modular, and mix everything in Ableton, for example. So that's
it should be easy.
Okay.
So I will look at I don't have like the correct answer just because I haven't done it.
I'm gonna look at that Sunflower.
Yeah,
that's.
Yeah, Sunflower is an easy. You have Mac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Mac software. It has like this purple flower. Also, when I downloaded, it took me a while to get to the correct place because now it's kind of forgotten by the people that made it. So you just have to go through that. Okay, this is almost uploaded, so we can share this, and then I can give you some, some information I want to give you. So before that, did anybody have any question about anything?
Michelle, I was wondering about the plugin extensions and the Quarks, the Super Collider. Is there any one of those that's worth checking out or installing? Is it too different from the ones that come like fixed in Super Collider?
Well, the ones that are like, well, there's like this couple, the extension that is called the SS3 plugins. I will highly recommend installing that. There's all like the default ones to install. And yeah, for extra ones, it depends on what you're doing. I just installed it on the ones that I like particularly want to use. For level 2, we have to install it in the first class because we wouldn't use Bebop, and then when there's some Sonic toolkits. There's also this one that I really like. It's called crossover distortion, that kind of imitates the distortion that the amplifiers made. You know, like this really distinct noise that have amplifiers that when are like broken or something. I really like it. And yeah, they have a couple of reverbs and filters and that stuff that's better. Also, I haven't tried a new one that just came out a couple of months ago that is called VCT or VCT something that let you open VCTs in Super Collider, and that I think is awesome. But I think that's also had to do with the new Super Collider, so I have to download it and go through that. But I'm pretty sure I will prepare a class for that level 2 because I haven't taught so much level 2s as I have taught level 1. So I have level 1 I really well at. But now I have taught like 4 or 5 level 2s, and I like now I get that more well-rounded sessions, and I will add that from the the BST. But yeah.
Actually, so talking about like the libraries and the add-in. So is there like a website or like a place where we can see all the list, or is it just different project and it's
no. I want to show you in a moment.
Okay.
Everything is inside GitHub. Are you familiar? It's like the repository, and everything is inside there. The SC3 plugins has like a GitHub thread that has all the instructions to download it. It's well proven. It has like, it's basically just downloading a file, open a folder on your computer and put it in there. That's for the SS3 files. And also there's things like these things that they call Quarks that basically are like the extra plugins. And there's a way to open a GUI inside Super Collider, like a built-in GUI that lets you install them by hand. Yeah, exactly. The one that sends Daniel is the CS3 plugins. And there's like instructions to download it. Even it gives instructions in the case that for some reason, when you install Super Collider, the folder wasn't created. That's weird. That's weird that the folder wasn't created, but it could happen. Yeah, and the Quarks, exactly. But if you have problems with that, please ask. The one that is a pain, those are super easy, but the one that is a pain to install is the Ambisonics toolkit, especially if you're in Windows. I have managed to do it in every computer, but always share my screen and go through no sé qué and look at the hidden stuff. It always is like a specific case, but we always end up solving that problem. That's the Ambisonics. I use it to do the binaural renderings and also the format P. Because if you compose something in a multi-channel environment and then you send it to format B, you can decode it, so you code it in format B, and you can decode it in whatever speaker configurations you want, 6.1, 5.1, 8-channel, and domes, and spheres. So that is super convenient. I don't know now, well, that was like 2 years ago, that was like really in, the festivals were like crazy with that. Obviously that kind of fades away a little bit with the pandemic because those systems has to be in situ. But that's when binaural comes to rescue, because now a lot of pieces are like internet experiences and that. I made a piece with binaural and a video and everything that doesn't matter. What's happening with my recording here? It's taking forever. I will just leave it there by the end. I mean, just let them take whatever it has to take, and you can, if you want, hear that in your, okay. It hears me, you know, it's like, okay, they don't want to hear me, I want to be here. So yeah, peace. So let's take a couple of seconds to hear this piece. You just go here and you can hear it. I will stop sharing my screen so I can just hear a couple of seconds. We just to take like a couple of minutes with you. Yeah, and when we come back to the like end to wrap up this session. I just want you to hear, well, if you want to still hear it, I just wanted you to hear the binaural process in the piece. So whenever you're ready, please tell me so we can wrap this. It sounds great. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah.
How is the stereo in headphones work differently from the binaural?
Well, when you are working in binaural, you just have like two speakers running directly to your ear. The thing with binaural is that actually we as humans have a binaural hearing. So we are human, it's like we have two directional microphones in our ears, because that's basically what our tympanus is. It's a microphone, you know, directional to this. But we did deduct, or we infer the space just in a similar way that we do with the eye. We take deductions from the place. So one is, for example, the difference between a sound coming from one ear to the other ear gives you a little information about direction. Then the reflections in river that also give us a lot of information. And also one that's really important, and we can actually don't understand because we have it really internalized, is the acoustic shadows that our bones do, our head bones. Sometimes if we hear something with the head, like with the bones of our head, that gives us the impression of sound. The first time the people, I mean engineers, have experiments with binaural, they put put microphones inside someone's ears, and he like walked through the place and get a binaural rendering because he used his head as the insane model to get these binaural impressions. So binaural is making calculation and is adding reverbs, filters, and delays to give you that impression. Also, they use like these heads, how do you call head?
Like a dummy.
Like a dummy, exactly. Here in Super Collider, you're using like a virtual dummy to get these calculations, and you're giving it the place you want the sound to be sounding. And it worked pretty well because basically you're using the algorithm that Ambisonics create. That they have like a team of engineers that have worked through this pretty well. So basically you encode this and decode it through these processes. And it works pretty well because you can hear like things in here and making round. And obviously it's not perfect because sometimes, for example, I remember when I made this piece that I want sounds to do this. And I learned that that's a difficult sound. We're really good, for example, if you're in your house and something falls in the kitchen, you always have your eyesight to the kitchen. Also, when somebody calls you in the street, but it's not so easy to get when something is coming down or coming up. It's just like it's there. Also, for example, there are things that because I have like a teacher that is so obsessed with these techniques, and there's a lot of gestalt going on. For example, if you put sound of birds, your brain will put it up, even though you are like putting them down in the mix, because that's how the brain works sometimes with especially with symbols. If you have a composition, for example, of violins, all English sounds like really scratchy and something, and you put a baby cry, even though the baby cry would be like in the same spectral place and the same amplitude, it will stand out because it's a baby cry. So these are problems with that do with Gestalt that has to do with space, because space is it's like our keenest sense in hearing. We are better at deducting space than we are at deducing pitch or timbre or the other like fundamental topics from. Also, a really good trick, and I did it in this pieces. I don't know if you noticed that I put an anchor. I put like a beat or a sound that was always giving you like a place to anchor the rest of the sounds, and that helps a lot. Also, it's better to try to move things that are like high pitched and are percussive because are better to recognize. Like for example, hi-hats are very easy, or like some movements. If you have like a really textured, bigly sound, it will be difficulter to put it in a place. So that also what is pretty difficult to get right is things getting sooner or things getting farther away, because also you have to deal there with filters that give you that impression, like I just told you, that you are coming towards a concert and you start to hear everything more the high pitches. So there are different techniques, but yeah, Ambisonics is super cool. Also, this piece that I found you is not, I don't even actually compose it in binaural. I compose it in a 16-channel environment, and then I put the 16 recordings, I put it in the binaural place. So you can make something even more cool if you start with binaural from start, because this is like a render of the 8th channel into binaural. Yeah. Also, for example, the other piece, the one that was talking Jose, that he's going to master. I make like a mixture of stereo and binaural and everything. The cool thing about binaural is that you put your binaural, because binaural only works in headphones, because you have to have the direction up. If you put it in speakers, it stops being binaural, but you still hear it as a really cool stereo. Kind of weirdly, because if you have something in binaural doing this, in stereo transforms to a really weird back and forth that sounds more like a delay ping pong, but still it's fun. It works pretty well. So well,
it should work in a surround system.
So if you want to transform binaural into surround, if you pass it to format B, then yes, because format B, if it's already in binaural, then no, because binaural is just an stereo that has this reverb, filter, and delay tricks that makes you feel the sensation in headphones.
Okay.
So yeah, Yeah. So well, now that we're talking about this, I can talk about level 2. Yeah, I mean, it's for the ones that are interested. If you're interested, it's pretty cool. I want to give time. Also, that depends on you. Like you can tell me, oh, I'm interested, but it will be okay that I have, I don't know, a month or something that go through the topics of level 1, so I can revisit the videos and actually get my coding in good shape and everything. So yeah, I know time will work, but I just want that the ones that are interested, please send me a messages, and yeah, it will be 8 sessions again. Each session will be around 2 and 3 hours. Why I'm selling these instead of 3 hours? Because usually in level 2s, I have less people. So we can go through topics a little bit faster. But usually I take the last hour to make an exercise we would see, because this one, I wanted to make it a little more exercise driven, so I can see also your patches and work a little bit with you in class, not just like a lecture like level 1. The main topics are multi-channel spatialization, binaural rendering, wave-shape synthesis, live coding techniques, data sonification, FFT rendering, OSC communication, routine loops and if statement, advanced p-bines, p-monos, and that type of stuff. And also there's a space like for specific topics that the people want to address. But that's like the general idea. Also microphone interaction, like how to pitch track and to amplitude track live instruments and interact with more like in a live in that type of stuff. And also I show you how to, for example, send OSC messages to processing or to Yanis or to other languages. Well, not languages, just software that, for example, what I do a lot, for example, my girlfriend is a visual artist and she used this program called Notch that is a 3D render stuff. So I analyze data in SuperCollider and I just send OSC through her program. So SuperCollider is not doing sound, it's just managing the data for her visuals. Or also, for example, I take the Arduino and Arduino sending info to SuperCollider, SuperCollider is getting through serial port, and then sending to OSC to Touch Designer. I don't know if you know this program. It's super cool, Touch Designer. So yeah, so for SuperCollider, through the years I have learned that SuperCollider is kind of a really good like brain for your projects, even though if you're not using for making sound. So yeah, you're leaving for this, that's perfect. So well, that was basically everything. I will send again the information like written down in the and please help me know, because for that level 2, I need at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 people. If I have like 5 people, 4 or 5 people, we can run it.
Okay. Yeah, I already sent you a message, I think. So yeah, great.
So yeah. For Payanotis also I will get, because I know that he's more interested in the Arduino stuff. So yeah, and that's all. I hope you learned.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, thank you very much for all the class. That's really helpful. Thanks a lot, Michel, for that.
Cool. Also, also if you're not attending the course and everything, and you start, making your study a lot SuperCollider, because remember this is a study driven program. You have to and you manage to make something cool that you like, or you like say, okay, I make this piece and you want to share it to me, please do. I would love to see what other people have managed to do. Because I have my own style, and also I'm not so much like now I don't work that much like in the composer type of things. I'm more like a interactive artist. So I work more with installation and also work with other artists. So I don't make that much music now. So I like to see what you came through. So I like it. So well, that was, I like it. So thank you everybody. I hope you like it, and if you have questions about level 1 in the future, please, you can ask. Don't worry. If it's an easy task, I will take the time to help you. Also, the videos will be up there in my YouTube channel for a long time, so don't worry about that. I mean, YouTube don't charge me for having that, so I don't mind. So you can like revisit them and have a look at them whenever you want. And that's all.
Okay, cool, yeah. And in case we don't hear from you like about the session 2, I just like, touch base, like, I don't know, in a couple of weeks and stuff on the chat,
and
just
also,
to make sure that we are.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Also, and that's just in the specific case that I have managed with another students, that you have like a really specific project that you want to work and you have a deadline, you have a due or whatever, we can arrange like private sessions, just like for like to work directly on the problem.
Yeah.
I have working with a composer, Sanos Panayotis, that he just present an installation in the Biennale in UK, and I was like the technician behind that. So yeah, I'm good with working with, and we managed to do Arduino, Super Collider, and Raspberry all through Zoom. So I know we can do it. It was difficult, but yeah. Also, he's a really smart guy, so that helps. But yeah, because he was like really hard. Like we ended the sessions, and in my night, it was, and then I like go to sleep, and when I wake up, he was like still working. So yeah, so well. So see you, everybody. Have a great diet, Nate, and everything. See you, Quentin. See you, Hassan.
Yeah, see you. Thanks,
See you,
bye.
Daniel,
Michelle.
Morgan,
later.
Alessio, Pepe, and the ones that
care.
are offline, Panayotis, Fotis, Jose, and the rest of us. Nice to
Right, see you guys. Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle.
See you soon.
See you guys. It's been
See
great
ya.
meeting you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See you, everybody.